Welcome back. We're going to do some actual compost tea today. You need a nylon bag, 400 microns, something like that. And I generally have 2 reservoirs, so I can do the messy stuff with the seabird guano and earthworm castings in one that's always kind of messy. And then I have one I use as cleaner, and I use it for the kelp and humic acid and the alfalfa meal. That's easier to clean up. So basically, what you want to do here, you want to create a bacteria and a fungus that are actually battling each other for sugar. The sugar source is a molasses. Some molasses are meant for plants and some aren't. Generally, if you get in a grocery store, it's going to be the right type of molasses, and that's the sugar the bacteria live on. So basically, these bags can be kind of expensive. This one's probably 60 bucks. And this one's probably about 35, 40. So with the cleaner stuff, I use the ones I told you I buy at dollar store or whatever. It's for laundry. It's a little bit finer micron, but it's for, keeping things cleaner. This one here has got butterflies on it. I normally go with the duckies and bunnies. It matches my reservoir better and it's more stylish. But usually I just get whatever they got. Anyhow, let's go get started here and mix up some stuff. The messy stuff is generally the seabird guano. It's Peruvian seabird guano. It comes in these pellets, so it's easy to manage. In a big reservoir like this, each one of these cups, each scoop's a cup. So I'll do 5 to 7 cups. That's 3, 4, 5, 6, and about 7 cups. You don't like to breathe that. It smells like the old barn that you used to play in when you was a kid. Whew, what is that? That smells just like a barn. So now we've got our guano. And there's another. This is really, really fine. I get this. Look for this Down to Earth brand. It's on all my. It's made here in Oregon. You can buy it everywhere. Every good grocery store's got Down to Earth, and that's pure organic. Everything there is good and clean. I like to add Alaskan humus. This is just compost that's been composting in ancient forests in Alaska for 2,000 years. It has more bacteria. It has more. There's 2,000 to 5,000 species of foreign bacteria in this alone, and it's what you want to add to your soil. It's about 12 bucks a bag, so I'll go through 2 bags a year. I'll go about 2 cups. Okay, you can just see the forest floor in there. It doesn't have a pK value at all. And the other thing I'd like to add in here is a little insect frass. Insect frass is insect fecal matter or poop and insect parts. And it does have a pK value 222. But really, it annoys the shit out of anything that wants to live in your soil that you don't want in there. They don't care for that. So it's always a good thing. And I'll just put one heavy scoop in there. Insect poop. And I'm going to leave that one as is. I'm going to put this other bag And I'm going to fill it with worm castings. You can buy worm castings. The big worm is this is like 35 bucks a bag. I go through 3 or 4 bags a year. It is it's a hot one. It's got all the goodies in it. You got to make sure you keep the lid on it. Don't let it dry up. I can see the top of mine's getting dry. And I'll go 5, 6 cups of that too. And this is really, it's earthworm poop. So we use a lot of poop. Also, you got to be careful after you get out here making this stuff. Don't go in the house and forget to make a sandwich, because you're making salmonella. Yeah, I forgot how many I put in there. It's probably about 7. That's what I want. Alright, so those are my gnarlies. And I'll come in out here tomorrow morning. I got my insect frass in there. I'm missing something. So then tomorrow morning, this is something you want to use 24 hours after you make it, because it starts to get really nasty if you don't. I'll come out there tomorrow. This is plant superfood. This is amino nitrogen. It's a animal protein. It is fish that's cold pressed, so that the steam doesn't kill all the goodies. 80% amino acids. That's the building blocks of life. If you use this right, you can hear those plants grow, and it's crazy. This is it really smells like fish big time. So I'll come out here tomorrow morning and I'll put it in right before I water it out, because it doesn't need to be brewing. And also, if I put it in tonight, every bear for 300 miles is going to be out here in my yard digging through my shit. They can smell that. So I put it in as I need it. Don't. The other thing I'll throw in, I'll show you what I throw in as I get this started here. Let me get. Okay, here's my bag of worm castings. I've got the aerator running. I've got bubbles in here. Keeps the water circulating. And what I want to do is hang this right above them. So I'm going to move them right over here where they're underneath my bag. Here it is right there. Alright, so I'm going to just suspend that right above my my bubbles. Of course, the bacteria and fungi I'm making in there are going to like that oxygen too. Get in there. And I just want to hang that securely above those bubbles. Do a good job right there. There's my guano. Well, most of my food products are in here except for the my hangers are on. There's one that's gnarly looking. Shit, that's been in a car wreck. There's another laundry bag that I can use for this, but it's got too big of holes for a lot of materials. I don't really want to ruin my pump with too big of particulates in the water. There's the one I was looking for the whole time, right there in front of me. Alright, so I'm just going to twist this up because my little hanger off this has been tore off. This has been used a lot. It's about a 3-year-old bag. I'm just going to hang that in there too. I want to keep the top of the bag out to keep anything from suspending and floating out of there. Ooh, the water's already turning dark. So we're going to get, I use Alaskan fish, and that's about half a gallon there, so I'll put about a quart. A good quart in there. And a good cup of molasses, because that's the sugar that our little critters live on. Once I've got them dumped in the soil out here, then the plant will provide sugar. Well, they're going to break down nutrients in the soil, and the plant's going to provide sugar, so they're symbiotic. They work for each other. I'm just going to put a little bit of kelp in there because it works like sugar too. It's a growth stimulant, and it's also sugary for our little critters. All right, now let's go over here to the other reservoir. Now what I'll do here tomorrow, now this is almost 300 gallons of pure fertilizer, and what I just put in there might have cost me 12 bucks. Cost me 12 bucks to make 300 gallons of hot sauce. I mean, plant yogurt. This is the shit. So what I'll do tomorrow, I'll water down to about 6 or 8 inches in the bottom of this reservoir. I'll stop there. I'll refill it. Put a little bit more molasses in there and a little more kelp, and let it brew for another 24 hours. And I'll get another batch. The parts per million may not be as high. Parts per million on this batch right here ought to be around 700 or 800 parts per million. I can go up to 1,000. So this ought to be 700, 800, and that's powerful. Believe me, that is so powerful. So let's go over here to the cleaner reservoir, and I'll put a few amendments in that we'll have ready to use. Alright, this is our cleaner reservoir that we usually run cleaner stuff in so that we don't get so much goofy shit to clean out of it. It gives me one reservoir that I don't have to work so hard to keep clean. And I've got my humic acid in here. This is granular, so it takes forever to break down, and I'll leave this bag in here for a week or two. I've got what else did I put in there? Neem seed meal. Neem oil is something we spray on our plants that bugs don't like. So the neem seed meal, it has a pK value, but I let it soak in here just because I know that critters in the soil don't like it. The larvae of white flies and all other kind of things we don't care for. And I've got a little more alfalfa in there, so I can actually just use this same bag and keep it in there and just keep refilling it. And let same deal here. I'm going to have the airflow, the bubbles circulating to keep things moving. Also keeps the water from getting ugly and smelling bad. This is our clean bag. Let's soak in a little bit. This is a bigger laundry bag I got on Amazon for about 11 bucks for 3 of them, and they're worth having. Yeah, put that up here. And then I want my air. I use the same hanger to hold my air right near it. So once that stokes up water, it falls down there around it. Air bubbles will come up next to it and create a flow. And this should be, both of these should be sudsy, foam. All those bubbles are life. If there's bubbles, then there's living organisms in there going at it. And that's the whole point of it. Again, this is all about feeding the soil. This stuff here that I add in later is pretty much the only thing I have that I feed the plant. Everything I do, I feed the soil and let the soil feed the plant. This is the only thing I do differently, and I'm telling you what, this is incredible. This 1 pound is meant to cover 1 acre, so this shit's powerful, and I've never seen it burn your plants, but it's insane. The amino acids, this is the list of amino acids, and 80% of it is amino protein hydrocyte. But this is an incredible thing to have around, and it's $35 for a pound of it. But like I said, it'll cover an acre, so I'll use 2 of these a year, and we'll just see how big my plants get. I'll give you some idea. This can be done tomatoes, anything you're doing. This can peppers. This stuff here will make them grow. If you want to look it up online, amino acids, that's the building blocks of life. That's what really, that's a steroid. And then tomorrow we'll come out here and see what we got, see if we got any bubbles. Okay, it's the next morning. I've already watered out some of this, but as I paused to move my hose, I figured I'd take a shot of this in here so you see. This is how much bubbles we want. These bubbles are important. Those bubbles are life and organisms. That's our plant yogurt. I'm almost to the point where I'll leave a little bit in here and add more water and a little bit more molasses, so there's a little more sugar in the water, and let those little devils go to battle again and keep on reproducing. It's like free fertilizer, you know. Anywho, what I've got here, I believe, I think I got this at Home Depot. The water bug. This will draw the water off the floor, and you know, and like a flooded basement, right down to 1/16 of an inch off the bottom. And it's got 2 outlets. It's got one on the side, one on top. I cap the top, and I just stick me a little jet on there. And when I'm ready to use this, I drop it down in here and plug it in, and it just completely circulates the bottom of this reservoir, making sure all the goodies down there are stirred up and equally pass through this pump out to the garden.
You can't stop it. You can't stop it. You can't stop it. You can't.